we there yet?
Yep. This
place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. Not only do I...
So, you've been watching...
Uh-oh.
and
So you and Delavar...
But you got one thing right.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Enger, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of King Deshret despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand why King Deshret is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping...
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders.
New punching.
Allow me! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Drill!
Take that!
A minute to...
Take that! I'll take... Impossible! Yeah, how could you...
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we...
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Enger and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar the Scar-Riddled Bandit are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how King Deshret is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for ya.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots... Right on time.
Paimon's been...
We've known each other for...
Oh, Paimon knows...
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. Us mercs on the other...
Well, Paimon thinks...
Really? Thank...
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early, too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here to my village, and you treat...
Mercy! Please!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there's one thing that I understand better than you. The people of Aru Village care. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry! I'll tell you everything
I'm listening.
You might not believe that some mystery man told us that...
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then... you...
Wait, I'm telling the truth!
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from that... You gotta believe me, please.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself King Deshret's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu, What do you mean?
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the Academia. Some time ago, people from the... It strikes me now.
Which means it's highly likely that the Academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the Academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the Academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready. Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you...
Well,
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here... Hey! What's with the silence?
you never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! Never mind! Paimon, there's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the...
Yep. We're not gonna find out. Enough with the silence!
No.
I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But, before that, you need to understand where she...
What does that...
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean, some of...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which day. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, the reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes, those fierce eyes.
Don't change the...
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's...
Right. You were asking about the Mad Scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then, why would she lie?
By getting involved...
I'll pass on this. You said that she is a...
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss... Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you. But even so, we have friends in Sumeru.
My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come.
Oh, Hatham told us you have your reason.
The fact is that I'm only one side of my family. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Al-Haytham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. It used to be louder and more frequent.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty, but because we're in the middle of a...
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar.
Yeah, let's go! La la la! Yeah! Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere.
Empty and forgotten. An ideal place to hide people.
Jungle.
Hold the line. Commit it to memory. La la la. This way, turtle. Allow me. Boing, boing. Roll. This way, turtle. Hold the line. Dumpy, go! Minute to memory. Allow me. Uphill battle. Easier to deal with than Paimon had its, super strong bandits? Or monsters? He looks super super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, what are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon. And anyway, so Paimon. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they... Oh, it looks like they're up... Let's change tactics. Yeah. Dumpy, dumpy, go! Grow. La la la. Go. Commit it to memory. Make yourselves at home. This might hurt. Rest and rebuild. committed to memory. Hold the line. Jumpy, dumpy, go! Boing, boing, boom! Roll. Look! There's someone over there! Good idea. Let's
Wait. You're...
He can't... Also...
Didn't expect to see...
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the...
He's a scholar too?
No. Razak was never involved in any of those things. Leaving that question aside, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was...
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you...
Correct. The Academia, it isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia, these rumors were all the persuasion that the Radicals needed, and as well as being able to life for the desert, many would give everything they had, even if complications arise. The notion of an Academia...
Oh, that makes a lot of... But there's still one...
Throughout this process, first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were... An exile is still patently... If you can't find someone...
Resource?
One possibility is that the information...
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them...
So, the human brain... Nope! Nah! Hyman doesn't want to think about this!
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, or perhaps, his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge, however, I can't help but wonder. What do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying...
You mean you're not...
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. Extracting
Sounds like you're really
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt...
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad...
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, He's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on.
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly...
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Al-Haytham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any...
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, simply put, if you want to raise a...
The Academia?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha day. I remember seeing...
You're saying that the... But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable... The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart,
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you...
So that's how it is. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily... Sino, don't take it to heart.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's... If the Academia is trying...
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
I
want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
feels like we're... from here.
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed... Looks like there were more than one village keeper. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract...
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or...
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, they...
You're one of us. We would know.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
You'd help me find Grandpa? What?
Well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru Village?
So, this is the... Dear, you'd be better off...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Rama.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the academia.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King Deshret. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as... These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have?
Not all desert dwellers...
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can...
We've known each other for years. Of course I...
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel your...
But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia!
Run! Stop!
What's wrong?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Okay,
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with if it came down to it.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get...
What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
We need to watch out for any signs of earthquakes and sandstorms.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk? You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone.
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today.
Fine.
Dodoko, where are you? These bombs, so heavy. Do you want to come fish blasting with me? I'll get grounded for a whole day, but it's way worth it because the fish taste so good. These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you?